morning.
Great.
Well, actually, it's good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Wesley here from the Mental Awareness Foundation. We're located in the beautiful area of Brisbane, and the Mental Awareness Foundation is all about prevention, suicide prevention, but we also encourage mental wellness. And today we've got an amazing guest on board. We actually were lucky enough. I spoke with Mary Williams. Now, you're probably thinking, who's Mary Williams? Mary Williams is the CEO of the Belmont Hospital, which is actually located here in Brisbane. And today I've got the amazing Belmont Therapy Program Manager, Sonia Nazareth, and she's going to help us. She's going to speak today about some of the programs going on at Belmont. But listen, firstly, just wanting to take this time to shout out to Belmont. They've actually come on as a supporter of the Mental Awareness Foundation, particularly for this year's walk. Obviously, we've got a physical and a virtual walk, but they see they're happy to get behind us because they believe that we're doing great work in bringing more awareness to mental health. And today is about us rewarding Belmont because they are also doing an amazing and important work. And we just wanted to, I guess, bring attention to what Belmont is doing, because it's our understanding that the services that we're about to talk, or the therapies that we're about to talk about, aren't offered anywhere else. So without further ado, Sonia, thank you for coming on board today.
Thank you for having me.
Just quickly, those that don't know about Belmont Hospital, you know, where and what is the Belmont Hospital?
Sure. So Belmont Hospital is a private facility, and we're a psychiatric hospital with inpatient and outpatient services. We're located in Carina, right opposite Carindale Shopping Centre.
Nice.
And we've been around for a few decades, I believe.
Yes, and actually, would you believe I came on site about a month ago, and it's actually set in a really beautiful setting. It's actually on top of the hill.
It is.
And there's lots of trees, and you know, obviously for the facility, it was actually really open. I found, open. You know, you could get outside. There was just that encouragement of being free there, which I noticed. But hey, listen, we're talking obviously the therapy programs here. You know, can you share a bit? Well, firstly, let's talk about your role. You know, what is your role at the private hospital?
Sure. So I'm a clinical psychologist, and I'm the manager here of therapy programs, which is looking after both inpatient therapy groups and outpatient therapy groups. And we've got about 40 allied health professionals as part of that team. So that makes up psychologists, social workers, OTs, mental health nurses, art therapists, music therapists, exercise physiologists, allied health assistants. I think that's it. I hope I'm not missed anyone. So yeah, we're a multidisciplinary team. We've all got a real passion for helping people with mental health needs. Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you, and your team and you yourself do amazing work, and we need more people like you. So if you're wanting to go down the rabbit hole of getting involved in mental health, please do. But listen, we're here to discuss the various therapy programs at Belmont. You know, what are the programs you offer? And I believe you actually have a new program that you're launching as well.
Yeah, so we've got quite a few programs, Wes. So about 30 different outpatient programs. And they're all sort of the different, I guess, psychological therapies. So we've got, cognitive behavioral therapy, which is CBT, acceptance and commitment therapy, which is ACT, dialectical behavioral therapy, which is DBT. And then we have a lot of other allied health programs as well. So we've got an exercise for mental health group, creative therapy, so art therapy as well, for mental health issues and mood disorders. So it's a variety of, I guess, psychological therapies and allied health therapies as well. And they're for people with various different mental health needs.
Yes, yeah. Actually, a question without notice. Have you created any of the programs, or have you influenced any of them yourself? Is there?
Yeah, so all our groups programs have been written here on site.
Awesome.
Some of them have been running for years, and we keep updating them. Others are a bit newer, but it's always a team effort
Yes.
of writing the programs. But we do create all our material here on site.
Now, you mentioned an art program. I definitely need to improve my art. So I failed finger painting at school, would you believe? But anyway, that's another story.
Well, people don't need to have any artistic skills to do our
Good.
creative
Yeah.
therapy.
Yes. No, I totally agree. I get, what can people expect from the group therapy session, Sonia?
So it's not like what they show on television or in the movies. So I think group therapy is fantastic. So it's sort of a mixture of, supportive discussions about mental health and difficulties in a shared safe space. But then there's also a massive focus on skills building. So whether that be, coping skills or managing emotions, or there's various different skills. So it works a lot on, I guess, giving people the tools on how to manage their mental health needs.
I guess that probably leads into the next question. What are the benefits of the therapy programs? You've touched on some of those,
Sure.
but are there some really concrete benefits you're seeing from these programs?
Yeah, so I guess, the best way to know what the benefits are is the feedback we get from the patients themselves. And the biggest thing that we always get is sort of that shared experience. So being around people that understand, what they're going through, being around people where there's no judgment, being able to, share that lived experience and learn from other people's experiences as well. That's the biggest thing that people have found as the benefit. So even though each person's, story is different and experience is different, there's still similarities, and there's a massive benefit in being able to share that.
Yeah, and you mentioned it before, but it's also a safe environment. I think it's really
That's right.
Particularly when people are disclosing about their inner thoughts or their mental health, that people feel comfortable and safe, and know that obviously it stays within the group, and that you're all there to work it out together.
Yes.
Thank you for mentioning that, because it's really important that people that do step forward, one, thank you for the courage, but two, that you feel safe. And I guess that actually sort of leads to that next question, for recovering patients. There's a wide range of mental health. Can you provide some overview of how, I guess, recovery patients programs are involved, and then also where can people find more information about these therapies and programs?
Sure. So, like I was saying earlier, we've got quite a wide variety of those recovery programs. And, some of those programs are for people that, have, maybe a chronic mental illness, and they're sort of, constantly in need of that support and those skills to manage their symptoms. For other people, it might be, following a particular difficult time in their life or a difficult episode, where they're then needing that recovery. So we have those inpatient options as well for people that are, really struggling. And all the information is available on our website. So, we've got, flyers and all the additional information required for all our programs. I guess the biggest thing to keep in mind is, because we are a specialist service, that sort of pathway of how to access our programs. I think people, some people know sort of what we do, but the question is, how do I actually access the programs? So, they would need to see a doctor here. So we have over 25 doctors associated with our services. So they would see a doctor here to get a referral to attend our group programs. And to see a doctor here, they would get a referral from their GP. So the first step is to talk to your GP and let them know that you're interested, you've heard about the work Belmont does, and you're interested, and they should be able to help you with that process then.
Yeah. And listen, and thank you for bringing it up. And I just want to encourage anyone watching it. It's really easy for us when we hurt ourselves physically, that we go to the physio or to remedial massage. But
that's right.
When we're mentally struggling, we seem to sweep it under the carpet or suppress it. Please take that. Obviously, talk to someone that you trust, but see your GP so that you can get referred. And I think that's fantastic advice there.
Yes.
Sonia, interesting times, obviously, with the COVID virus that's around, and I guess it's important,
Yes.
how is the Belmont Private Hospital sort of providing that strong level of care and services through all this, the issues that we're currently in?
Yeah, so it's definitely been a very challenging few months, and we've really had to, I guess, be flexible and adapt to the environment and think about how can we continue to support our patients, and how can we provide support to new patients that their mental health really declined due to the current circumstances, and the big, I guess, change that we've made is providing services via telehealth. So using Zoom. So we have done various group therapy sessions via Zoom, which people have found incredibly helpful. They're in the comfort of their own home, they're safe, but they're still able to access that support. The other thing we've done is also introduced some individual telehealth sessions. So one-on-one support for people really struggling. So that's been a major step forward that we haven't done previously, but we haven't had the need to. But it's been great because not only have we been able to reach people affected by COVID, but we've been able to reach quite a few people who normally wouldn't be able to access our services. So whether that's because of the location that they're living in, or because due to having young children, things like that. So that's been a massive step forward, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's just the advantage of using technology to.
Yes.
And you mentioned the word flexibility too, being able to pivot and go, well, maybe we can't see you in person, but we can see you on the screen. So I just want to take my
That's right.
Well done.
Yeah.
Now, I've actually got two more questions. This one, now, what do you do personally to keep your mental health in check, young Sonia, besides smiling?
Yes. Yeah. I guess my biggest thing is sort of having that peer support. Reaching out and talking to friends or even other health professionals, sort of having that peer supervision and support. I think when people are struggling, they tend to withdraw and sort of get in their head, and we're not as willing to connect with other people, but in fact we should be doing the opposite. The more you're struggling and the more down you feel, the more we actually need to be connecting with other people, and because that's sort of what keeps us going. I think that I think connection is priceless. So that's a big thing that I do. And then apart from that, I have the cutest dog in the world that gives me unconditional love. And I think he has been great during these COVID times as well in keeping my mental health in check.
Nice. May I ask, what type of dog do you have?
I have a Labradoodle, and his name is Henry.
Would you believe I've actually been looking for a Labradoodle? So, and that's no lie there. That's awesome. Now, my last question: if Sonia, if you could get a message on a billboard or a message out to many thousands of people, what would that be? What would the message be to people?
Oh wow, that's a good question. I think probably in better words, but the main message would be to reach out if you're struggling.
Yeah. Awesome.
Because in those really dark times, it can feel really hopeless. It can feel like there's that you just there's nothing you can do. You can't feel better. You seem to there's sort of a brain fog, I guess, that people experience. But I think when you reach out and ask for help or talk to people, that I think can really, the benefits of that is massive. And that's the first step, I think, before anything else can happen, is that reaching out to someone, whether that's a health professional or a friend or a phone service or whatever it might be. But I think that would be the main message.
Yeah. And thank you, Sonia. And listen, Belmont Private Hospital, as you mentioned, it's a safe environment. It's a place where you can go for help, and they do amazing work there. And I've seen the team, and there's a lot of passion that runs through that hospital. I can tell you that. And then just thank you for sharing connection. I think connection, particularly in these times, is really important. And you know, one of the things that we look out for is detachment. And by connecting with your friends, hopefully you can obviously avoid that detachment, particularly in someone you care about and that you love, and then also the courage of someone actually stepping forward to say, hey, I'm struggling. Like it's a big step. However, it's a worthy step, because no matter how big or small you think your contribution is on this earth, it is worth saving. So I just want to say thank you for bringing all those things up, Sonia. Now, not the most important part, but an important part, Belmont Hospital is supporting Walk for Awareness. Now, do you know what date it is, Sonia? Have they told you there?
Yes, it's in October.
Absolutely, 10 points.
Yes.
It's actually on the 11th of October, so Sunday the 11th, and registrations are open. I know that Belmont Private Hospital will be there. It's a COVID safe, so we've got one event, two options. We have a physical walk in Brisbane, which we'll be doing more details, obviously, in regards to how we do that. But it's an outdoor event, so it's a COVID-safe event. But we also have the option, no matter where you are, Sonia, if you can't actually make it on the day, which is fair enough, but you can take your Labradoodle and walk virtually anywhere where you are in this planet or Australia. So we're fortunate enough that we're able to send our T-shirts all over Australia.
That's great.
Yes, walkforawareness.org.au. Please jump online, register. If you'd like to help us raise funds for some great frontline services, that would be fantastic. But Sonia, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for your time. Say hi to Susie and Mary. They're amazing people there, and your team, and you do great work. And I appreciate you coming on board and talking about the therapies. And guys, please check out Belmont Private Hospital. They're here in Brisbane, and they do amazing work.
Thanks, Wes.
You're awesome. Thank you, Sonia. You have a lovely day.
Yes, you too. Thanks. See ya.